As Princess Catherine kneels amidst a crowd of eager children, 7-year-old Sally boldly declares, "Your crown looks like a shiny toy." The adults chuckle nervously, but Catherine's unexpected response leaves them speechless. What she does next brings the crowd to a standstill, but what happened next will shock even those who thought they'd seen everything. But first, let's go back to the beginning. In the quaint town of Bridgehampton, Vermont, the morning sun cast a gold-hued spell over cobblestone streets, as if nature herself had donned her best to welcome the esteemed guest. The anticipation was palpable. Villagers gathered in lively clusters, their faces adorned with anticipation and reverence. Parents hoisted their children onto their shoulders, eager to afford them a better view of the radiant Princess Catherine, whose impending presence had transformed an ordinary day into one of extraordinary possibilities. At the forefront of this expectant throng was young Tommy, a spirited 5-year-old whose wispy blonde hair danced in the breeze as he wriggled his way to the front. His eyes sparkled with a mischievous glint, a stark contrast to the composed demeanor of the adults around him. Tommy's audacity was his charm, his eagerness unfettered by social expectations, and today was no exception. The instant Princess Catherine's elegant figure appeared at the entrance of the town square, a hush fell over the crowd, punctuated only by the soft rustling of leaves and the distant trill of a bird. Her serene composure and warm smile seemed to cast a spell, weaving threads of enchantment through those gathered. Yet Tommy was unperturbed by the ceremony's gravity. Inspired by the innocence of youth, he waved vigorously, his small hand a beacon against the vibrant backdrop of the crowd. Catherine's eyes found his, and she was drawn to him as if pulled by an invisible thread of familiarity. Overcome with curiosity and a desire to truly connect with this boy who dared defy the solemnity of the occasion, she moved toward him, her steps graceful and deliberate. The crowd held its collective breath as silence enveloped them, a tapestry woven with the threads of shared expectancy. When Tommy's question pierced the air, "Do you know how to play hopscotch?" A ripple of laughter spread through the throng like a gentle breeze rustling through autumn leaves. It was as if this simple query had unlocked a door to a shared sense of humanity, momentarily bridging the divide between the royal figure and her subjects. Catherine's laughter mingled with that of her audience, a genuine and melodious sound that resonated through the crisp morning air. And there, amid the whispers of admiration and the soft murmurs of approval, Princess Catherine, embodying both grace and humility, took Tommy by the hand. They moved to a nearby patch of smooth pavement, where Tommy hastily sketched a hopscotch grid with a piece of chalk he'd safeguarded specifically for this moment. As Catherine joined him in his impromptu game, her movements fluid and gentle, an unmistakable sense of joy emanated from her, an authentic, unfeigned delight that touched the hearts of those who watched. For a moment, time seemed suspended as royalty and child shared a space governed not by rules of protocol, but by the simple purity of a game. Onlookers marveled at this rare glimpse into Catherine's authenticity, where warmth and affection flowed effortlessly, endearing her all the more to the people gathered. In the echoes of laughter and playful banter, a promise of hope and connection was forged, a testament to the power of spontaneity and kindness in transcending boundaries and uniting humanity in a moment of shared delight. The sun bathed the rolling lawns of the community center in a warm, golden glow, casting long shadows that danced with the anticipation shared by families gathered around. The air twinkled with the excitement of young voices, each trying to predict what would happen next. Princess Catherine, known for her poise and elegance, seemed to step into this picturesque scene with an air of calm that belied the layers of expectation swirling around her. As she moved through the crowd, stopping to speak with the townsfolk, her attention was continually drawn to the children in attendance. It was here, amid the understated grandeur of the afternoon, that 7-year-old Sally, an audacious girl with curly blonde hair and a curious, assertive disposition, made her presence known. With the innocence that only childhood provides, she approached the princess with an inquisitive expression, her eyes fixated on the crown that adorned Catherine's head, a delicate circlet sparkling with jewels. "Ma'am, your crown looks just like a shiny toy," Sally announced with unmistakable candor, her small voice cutting through the chatter, causing an amused ripple of laughter among the adults present. This comment could have easily unsettled many, but Catherine, with her intuitive understanding of the moment, sensed the truth behind the child's words. Taking a step back to fully engage with Sally's unabated honesty, Catherine crouched slightly to meet Sally at her level, her expressions radiating warmth and genuine interest. "Does it now?" Catherine replied, a soft smile playing on her lips as she tilted her head thoughtfully, allowing the light to catch the jewels more extravagantly. Sally nodded enthusiastically, her eyes widened in delight at the unexpected invitation to converse so closely with royalty. Catherine then gestured to her aides to assist with her tiara, an act met with soft gasps of surprise from onlookers as protocol was quietly set aside. "Well, if you think it looks like a toy, would you like to try it on?" Catherine inquired, her voice gentle yet melodically charged with the promise of escape into fairy tale wonders. A hushed awe settled over those gathered as Sally, balancing on her tiptoes, gingerly accepted the crown, her fingers lingering on its cool, crafted surface. As soon as the crown was set upon Sally's head, a cheer erupted from the crowd. The image of this small girl beaming with pride while wearing the emblem of royalty became more than a charming interaction. It was a bridge crossing generations, knitting the community tighter in its shared experience. Catherine's ability to see beyond the rigid lines of protocol to foster an authentic moment of connection with Sally presented a portrait of modern royalty, relatable, warm, and deeply human. In that sun-dappled space, Catherine's actions resonated profoundly, leaving a subtle yet undeniable imprint on the tapestry of the day's events. This scene, deceptively simple yet powerfully profound, spoke volumes of Catherine's ability to bridge the gap between the pedestal of royalty and the ground of everyday life, a gift that not only entertained but genuinely touched those who were lucky enough to witness it. As the warm afternoon sun cast gentle rays across the village green, a sense of anticipation and festive energy filled the air. Families gathered, children buzzed with excitement, and the occasional burst of laughter punctuated the ambient chatter. Princess Catherine moved gracefully through the crowd, her presence magnetic yet approachable. Her demeanor exuded warmth and sincerity, creating an inviting atmosphere for those who crossed her path. Meanwhile, at the periphery of this celebration stood Geoffrey, a small figure partially obscured by the dappled shadows of a nearby oak tree. Geoffrey held himself with a quiet dignity, his inquisitive eyes surveying the gathering from afar. Unlike his peers who eagerly sought out the princess, his attention was consumed by the pages of a well-worn book he clutched to his chest. This particular book, a collection of illustrated fables, served not only as a source of fascination, but as an escape into worlds of whimsy and wisdom. Yet beneath his reserved exterior lay a mind brimming with curiosity and unspoken thoughts. Princess Catherine, moving almost as if guided by intuition, noticed Geoffrey's solitary figure. She gently excused herself from a conversation and approached him, her soft laughter drawing him into the present from his literary refuge. Kneeling to meet him at eye level, she carried none of the airs that often accompany royalty, only the genuine interest of a grown-up who never quite lost their own childhood wonder. "Hello there," she began, her voice carrying a melody of warmth. "What book has captured your attention so fully today?" Caught off guard, Geoffrey hesitated before responding, his fingers unconsciously tightening their hold on the book's spine. Yet beneath Catherine's patient gaze, he found the courage to speak. He told her about his favorite stories, tales that taught moral lessons through humble characters and mythical creatures. The princess listened intently, her own eyes lighting up with the joy of discovery that resonated so deeply with his perspective. As their conversation flowed, Catherine turned the subject toward Geoffrey's academics, inquiring gently about his interests and challenges. It was here that a subtle transformation occurred. Inviting him to describe his schoolwork unraveled an opportunity to delve deeper into the nature of learning. Excitedly, Geoffrey mentioned a project he was working on, involving acts of kindness and their impact on community well-being. His voice grew more confident with each word, and the barrier of shyness that initially separated them slowly dissolved. "You know," he mused, almost to himself, "it's interesting how helping others makes you feel good inside, even if you don't get anything back. Just knowing you've made someone's day a bit brighter seems like its own reward." Catherine smiled, her heart warmed by the pure sincerity behind his simple yet profound observation. "Indeed, Geoffrey," she replied softly. "The greatest acts of kindness often ask for nothing in return, and yet they enrich us in ways we cannot measure." Their interaction became an enlightening exchange not merely for Geoffrey, but for the gathered onlookers who witnessed a meeting of minds and hearts transcending age and status. In those precious moments, Princess Catherine reaffirmed the belief that within each child resides a wealth of wisdom, often unlocked by nothing more than the willingness to listen and engage. As they parted, with her encouraging words lingering gently in the air, the relationship they forged served as a timeless reminder of humility's quiet power, a lesson far richer than any textbook could convey. As the sun began its leisurely descent, casting a golden hue over the quaint Vermont town, a gentle wave of contentment swept through the gathered crowd, signaling the closing moments of Princess Catherine's much-anticipated visit. The air, filled with the sweet scent of late summer blooms, resonated with whispers of shared experiences and the heartwarming occasion that was swiftly drawing to a close. The mood was buoyant, yet tinged with a sense of nostalgia, for the time spent in the presence of royalty had been nothing short of enchanting. As Princess Catherine gracefully prepared to depart, her eyes, bright with the day's joys, swept over the faces of those gathered. A tapestry of admiration and gratitude woven into expressions both young and old. It was then that a small, hesitant voice cut through the gentle murmur, stopping the poised princess in her tracks. Little Claire, no more than 6 years old, emerged from the throng clutching a piece of paper as though it were a treasure map. The drawing, crumpled yet lovingly rendered, depicted a fantastical vision. The entire royal family gathered joyfully around a vibrant picnic, complete with bountiful baskets and colorful blankets. In Claire's imaginative world, the royal family was not just part of an inapproachable institution, but participants in a shared, joyful simplicity. Catherine knelt to bring herself to Claire's level, her face a tableau of sincere interest and warmth. Her gaze danced over the drawing with careful attention, pausing here and there to appreciate a particularly vibrant hue or an inventive squiggle that could only be conjured through the eyes of a child. Her reaction was not one of mere polite acknowledgement, but genuine admiration, her voice carrying a lilt of wonder as she discussed each charming detail with Claire. To the observers, it was as though the drawing were a masterpiece worthy of displaying in a gallery, a sentiment Catherine herself voiced with infectious enthusiasm. Her suggestion that such a piece belonged in a royal gallery was met with wide-eyed surprise from Claire and appreciative laughter from her parents, who stood by, their hearts swelling with pride and delight. In those moments, the cold grandeur often associated with royal protocol melted away, revealing a warmth that bridged the gap between palace and playground. Claire's drawing had accomplished what formal addresses and systematic handshakes seldom could. It forged an authentic connection that echoed through the community long after the royal carriages had disappeared over the horizon. The townsfolk carried with them stories not just of Catherine the princess, but Catherine the person, down to earth, accessible, and infinitely kind. The impromptu art appreciation session bore a deeper testament to Catherine's capacity for kindness and her innate ability to nurture joy, tenderness, and community spirit. It encapsulated the essence of her visit, an afternoon that began with scores of expectant faces and ended with a town enriched by laughter, shared dreams, and the bittersweet beauty of fleeting yet impactful human connections. The tale of Claire's drawing and the princess's touching response circulated through the town, adding another vivid thread to the intricate tapestry of anecdotes that would be cherished and retold for generations. In that drawing, in the shared sweetness of those moments, lay the promise of a kindred spirit, a reminder of the gentle power vested in humility and heartfelt connections.